Thank you so much. This was really very fascinating, and listening to you, it very much sounds like we've written our presentations together. It's overlapping, and what I'm about to present, and I'll pull the presentation on screen. Thank you. Some very, very important points that Nick made, really, really very important points. And I hope whoever is listening, we've got 22 people listening to what we're saying right now, take it on board. And I'm actually going to piggyback on what he said. Let me just pull the presentation on screen and make it a little bit exciting and colorful for you. Here we go. So I hope everybody can see what I've prepared. So I would like to, Barry?
Yeah, we can see that. It's all good.
Fantastic. So I would like to start with a little bit of a provocative thought. I want you to think about this. We take great time to clean our houses, to polish our cars, to do our laundry. We spend a lot of time in doing that. But before the lockdown, we spent much less time in polishing and cleaning the most important possession that we've got, and that is our body and our well-being. The mentality has always been that the job and the business are the most important, and the job and the business are not the most important thing in our lives. Yet we gave it the highest time priority. So what I would like to see the lockdown as, the lockdown is a reset button. It gives us an opportunity to begin a new chapter. So for me, the lockdown has been very much the isolation I see as integration, a spirit of integration. Nick said something very, very important, that right now they are playing more board games, and they've got once a week, every whatever day you've got there, they play various games and quizzes. This is fantastic. This is just amazing. We are beginning to understand how important it is to integrate our own health, how important it is to integrate with our loved ones, with our family, with our friends. Just like Nick, I've been speaking to some of my friends now more often than I have ever spoken to them. And why? Because in the past, the job and the business and the office was more important. So right now, this process of integration is starting to begin, and we start to begin integrating with nature as well. We're starting to, now one serious excuse is to go and walk the dog, and it's a fantastic experience. Quite a lot of people are getting into desperate level, and they're starting to walk their cats, which is absolutely fine, whatever you've got. Just when you get to the point of walking the goldfish may become a little bit of a problem, so just draw the line there. So to start, as a starting point, for a good health, the starting point would be the supporting of the immune system. And what we need to remember is that we've got a built-in feature in our bodies. We've got that shield, if you want to call it even our firewall, that protects us from external and internal attackers. Those are the viruses, those are the bacteria, the cancer cells that we manufacture, that we're producing in our own system. So that shield is called the lymphatic system. Now, the lymphatic system is part of our immune system. It looks very much like this. It's a very simplified image of the lymphatic system. But the lymphatic system, being part of the immune system, and the immune system is this complex integration of parts and things combined to continuously protect the body from microbes, from cancerous cells that we produce and that we've got already in our system. So the function of the lymphatic system, it's like a spider web, like what you see on the screen right now. It's an extensive drainage network that helps keep the body fluids levels in balance. It defends the body against various infections. It is made of complex network of lymph organs, nodes, ducts, tissues, capillaries, and all their function is to carry lymph and other substances throughout the body. Now, the two very important organs, so before I move to the organs, just pay attention, where is your lymphatic system situated? If you notice, it's around the gut, around the lower abdomen, around the pelvic region. So that's the biggest concentration. That's the command center of our lymphatic system. Once again, a reminder, lymphatic system is pretty much the first line of defense of our immune system. The spleen plays a very important role in our immunity, in our immune system. And I would like you to identify it. If you can sit tall, and just take your hand to the left side of your rib cage, just under the rib cage, just under the ribs. This is exactly where your spleen is located. It works as part of the lymphatic system to protect the body, clearing out red blood cells which have been worn out, removes foreign bodies from the bloodstream, and protects us from infections. So what are the functions, the main functions of the lymphatic system? And I'm going to go through it very quickly. I'll just mention just a overlay of what happens and what are the functions of our lymphatic system, so we can get a better understanding of how things work and what can we do to make the lymphatic system function properly, and from there to support the immune system. Now, the first function of the lymphatic system is to remove excess fluids from the body. As the blood moves through the arteries and the veins, 10% fluid that's being filtered becomes trapped in the tissues of the body. The loss of this fluid, which is about 1 to 2 liters a day, would rapidly become life-threatening if the lymphatic system is not functioning properly. So the function of the lymphatic system to activate our immune system is paramount. This is our starting point. The second function is absorption of fatty acids. So that happens in the digestive tract. And our digestive tract is lined up with lymph vessels in the lining, in the gastrointestinal tract, that absorb fats from the food. A malfunctioning of that part of the lymphatic system can lead to clogging the lymphatic system and also to malnutrition. And the third function is coming down again to the spleen. I mentioned earlier one of the very important organs in the lymphatic system, which is the spleen. Spleen helps to helps the body to fight infections. It contains all those lymphocytes and monocytes. Those are your white blood cells that are produced, that are stored in the spleen, which engulf and destroy bacteria, dead tissue, and they sweep everything and remove out of the body. So I'll just summarize this in a very simplistic way. Out of the 3 functions, there are 2 main roles sorry guys, I went slightly backwards. We need to go forward. Yeah. 2 main roles of the lymphatic system, and summarize those roles are to carry out waste of the body and to fight infections. So that's what our lymphatic system does. This is fantastic when the whole body is in balance. But let's be realistic. We live in a very fast-paced world. Before the lockdown, it was a constant rat race. It was constantly go, go, go. A lot of projects, a lot of things are bombarding us the whole time, and we're trying to respond to everything. So what are the current challenges to our immune system, to create healthy immune system, to have that good balance in the body so the lymphatic system can do its 2 main roles, 2 main functions? And the main hindrance is sympathetic nervous system dominance drive. So there's one word that we use, very topical word that we use constantly, which simplifies this fancy term of sympathetic nervous system dominance drive, and that is stress. It's a starting point for a lot of problems that we experience from a health point of view. Our nervous system is built around the balance of 2 opposing actions. The sympathetic nervous system, which is also known as the fight and flight, which is the system that releases the stressor hormones. When we perceive a stressor to be a danger, our brain responds in one only way, that knows. Stress is translated as danger, is translated, okay, I need to run, I need to save myself. Whether you're chased by a wild animal or you're just running late with your project, the brain can't make the difference. So the sympathetic nervous system is engaged. It starts releasing a whole lot of stressor hormones like adrenaline, like cortisol, and so on, and it responds to that stress. The other side is the parasympathetic nervous system, also known as our rest, relax, digest mode. This is where the immune system sits. When the sympathetic nervous system is active, the digestive system and the immune system shut down. Obviously, if you're chased by a lion, the last thing you're going to think is throw out a picnic and start eating. Naturally, the digestive system is shut down. So the two parts of our autonomic nervous system are meant to work in rhythmic alterations. I personally see stress as a good thing. And this is one of the things that in one of the presentations that I did at your company, Barry, where I try to shift the perception of stress to be seen as a good thing. And why is it a good thing? Because it makes us alert. It makes us focus, it makes us ready to spring to action, but also what we need to remember, we must be able to switch down to the state of rest and relax. We must create that balance between sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system. When we don't do this in balance, we're in what is called sympathetic nervous system dominance drive. This is when we are in constant alert. We don't switch off. We need that cup of coffee in the morning to get us going because our energy is too low. We need that glass of wine in the evening to lend us and to wind us down. And this is a highly unbalanced state of existence. It's very conducive for illnesses, but it's not conducive for good health. So, just to summarize it, healthy lymphatic system equals improved immunity. I'm going to throw another span in the wheel here, just to make it a little more exciting and challenging. The lymphatic system is not connected to a pump. Now, our circulatory system, our heart is the pump, and it pumps the blood and it circles through the body, carrying all vitamins, nutrients, whatever is needed by the cells. But the lymphatic system is not connected to any pump. So something has to make it work. Something has to activate it. How do we support our immune system to activate the lymphatic system in order for this to happen? The movement of lymph through the body, through the entire body system is assisted by the actions of skeletal muscles and the breathing contractions. So when we integrate the two, when we start moving the muscles, contracting and releasing, when we start breathing, this is when we activate the lymphatic system. And then from there, we're activating and bringing stability and support to the immune system. Now, there are three magic words that we can practice and we can use. Remember, this is just the inner circle. That's not everything. The inner circle, the starting point of activating the lymphatic system and bringing better health and better immunity. But there are other contributing factors. If you've listened to any of my presentations on what is well-being, you will see that there are another 4, 5, or 6 factors that contribute to our well-being. So I'll give you the 3 words, which are the foundation. And the first one is the word yoga. The second one is nutrition. And the third one is breathing. So how those 3 work to support the lymphatic system, to support the immune system. During a yoga class, we contract and release the muscles, which works to massage the lymphatic system. That is combined with the breathing and stimulates the entire lymphatic system through the body. We work towards something which is called heart rate variability. That's the change in the heart rate that occurs together with the breath when we combine the breath and the move. That stimulates a set of nerves, which is known as the vagal nerves. And the vagal nerves, the set of nerves, are actually our parasympathetic nervous system. So when we create a vagal tone, this is when we achieve that stabilizing between sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. The increase in vagal tone is linked to reduction of inflammation, and also it gives better prognosis for people who are suffering from chronic illnesses, from anxiety, from depression. Healthy vagal tone involves slight increase of the heart rate on inhalation and slight decrease of heart rate during the exhalation. Now that combination between you contracting the muscles, you're releasing the muscles, you're massaging the vagal nerve, you're incorporating the breathing is what brings the optimal balance between sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. And then from there, promoting the activity of the immune system. When you combine the breath and the moves, you're creating that external pump that does not exist in our lymphatic system. Now, where nutrition is concerned, ingesting the variety of nutrients of the right kind brings the good bacteria in the gut. And then from there, those good bacteria, feeds the good bacteria in the gut. And then from there, it brings those good particles that have shifted and sifted through the lining into the rest of the body. So I'm going to start and just give you just a little example of, for some reason, my presentation is moving very much backwards, but it's not moving forwards. There we go. So starting from nutrition, I have drawn just a few little examples, and they represent different food groups. You've heard the term so many times, you eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow because not only due to the various nutrients that are inside the different colors, but also because of the colors themselves. The color pigment in each and every different food contains that powerful effect on the overall immune system, on overall health of our body. What we want to see on our plate is a variety of natural, fresh, and wherever possible organic foods from predominantly plant-based, because our digestive tract is built in a way to handle and process better foods that are from a plant-based rather than mainly of animal nature. So what you see on the screen is just one tiny little example, but I'm going to focus on a few important vitamins that are very, very crucial to support the immune system. Starting from vitamin A. Probably you would expect me to start on vitamin C. This is the general story tale that vitamin C is associated with our immunity. However, vitamin A is known as the anti-infective vitamin. It's a strong antioxidant, and that vitamin helps to boost and to protect our immune system. Where are you going to find it? In things like your sweet potatoes, in things like carrot, spinach, the greenies that you see, things like papaya, for example. You will find vitamin A in the various seeds as well. Vitamin C, I'm putting it as number 2, but it's not number 2 and priority. It's just the main function of vitamin C is to manufacture collagen in the body. It does play a very important role in protecting our immunity. And what it happens with vitamin C is vitamin C strengthens the membrane of the cells. This is how it keeps the cells alive and keeps the cell protected and healthy. And imagine your body made of so many cells, and if all of those cells are healthy, your immunity is boosted and your immunity is lifted. Where you're going to find main sources of vitamin C, another surprise, surprise, we would think it would be citrus foods like lemons, like oranges. Yes, they do contribute, but I'll give you some interesting facts. You see the red peppers on the screen? Your chili red peppers, I'm taking a quantity of 100 grams of serving as a measurement. So your red sweet peppers contain 190 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 grams of serving, opposed to the same type of serving lemon juice, which will only give you 46 milligrams of vitamin C. Another strong provider of vitamin C is your broccoli, for example. So think about your greenies, about your spinach, about your broccoli. Vitamin E, another very important element, another very important vitamin in our immune boosting and our support of the immune system, and especially for people over 65, that vitamin is specifically directed towards supporting the immunity, but also has another second function that helps to sweep all those buildups in the brain that with time can cause development and onset of dementia. I mentioned very quickly about the health of the gut, and there's something called, I'm not sure if you've heard about, microbiome. This is your ecosystem inside the gut, which is made of a lot of bacteria that live together. Interesting fact, 90% of our body is just bacteria, microbes and bacteria. We're only 10% human. So we need to have foods to feed that good bacteria, because that good bacteria eats all the bad stuff and the bad guys that are entering the body, either from the exterior or that we manufacture in our own body. To promote good microbiome and good health in the gut, I've included 2 food groups as well. The fermented foods, that's your kefir. That little bowl of shredded stuff is fermented food in the form of sauerkraut. You see the glass of water in one corner of the presentation. Now, this is, we all know it and we all understand. We've got to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water. So how do we actually manage that? How do we prompt ourselves and how do we remind ourselves to drink more water? Put a timer, put a reminder for yourself. Every 2 hours of awake time, drink a glass of water. So the reminder, every 2 hours of awake time, here's a glass of water for you. So those are just a few little examples. I've included a turkey because I do believe in balance. Turkey is a very rich source of amino acid called tryptophan. And the tryptophan is in the foundation of creating serotonin in the brain. So that's something very, very related to Nick's experience. People with anxiety and depression have usually very low levels of serotonin and very high levels of lactic acid in their system. Since I believe in balance, and I did consult with Barry about that, what I would like to do is just to prompt you very quickly to do a breathing exercise with me. So we're not going to do the movement. We're going to just do, as you're sitting in your chair, wherever you're sitting, I would like you to join me. Remember, you can see me, I can't see you, so you've got to for the advantage of your privacy. You can do whatever you want. You can be even in your pajamas. No one would know better. But the message that I would like to convey here is the best approach to support the immune system and the functioning of the immune system is to have this comprehensive strategy, comprehensive plan that involves lifestyle. Think about what I said in the very beginning. This is your reset button. This is the time to start new and to integrate everything in your body to work better for you, to manage the stress levels, to bring that balance between sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, exercise, your diet, your nutritional supplementation, avoiding of toxins. That's a very important one. Think of the body as if your gut, if your digestive system is cluttered with a whole lot of wrong things that you've been eating, it becomes like a swamp. And if you try to plant good plants in that swamp and you start throwing fertile soil in it, the plants are not going to grow. Until you drain the swamp and you drain the water, the plants are not going to grow. So trying to avoid and eliminate and remove toxic intake in forms of processed food, in terms of artificial colorants, additives, is the first step in order to establish that balance and stability within the body, to start feeding it with the right bacteria. Also, what's very important to mention is the stress, the mental attitude, the emotions are highly contributing factor to either suppress our immunity or promote our immunity. So watching what you think, watching what you telling yourself, how you're talking to yourself. The point that Nick made again about self-care, incredibly important, but our thoughts are activating either the sympathetic nervous system, the fight and flight, or they would be activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which will promote better immunity. So let's just put this into action. Let's practice together. I invite you just to sit straight, lengthen your spine. Usually my advice would be to every 45-50 minutes, get up, move, do something, just circling around, move your arms, move your legs. Ideally, I would assume and I would hope that you would have a regular fitness routine to promote that movement and deeper intensity of the muscle tone and the muscle movement. But for the purposes of this exercise, let's just sit tall. Bring your palms in front of your chest. And we're going to start inhaling through the nose, exhaling again through the nose. And simultaneously, we'll start incorporating the movement into this whole breath and create that balance between breath and movement. Inhale, bring the arms to the side, open the chest wide. And exhale, squeezing palms in front of your chest. Now you can do this seated, or you can do this, I will allow myself to stand if you don't mind me. You can do it also standing. Planting your feet firmly into the ground, bringing the arms to the side. And again, inhaling, bringing the arms up. And exhaling, bringing the arms down. Another movement you can bring into this whole routine, and as you inhale, bring the arms up. Now watch carefully if you are away from your desk, if you are joining me for this. Exhale, fold forward, folding all the way down. So while we're folding all the way down, remember the command center in our lymphatic system is around here. So we want to create that contraction. We want to create that movement and maneuvering of the trunk of the body. Inhaling up. Exhaling, folding forward. Another benefit that we get from the ability of our body to move is the twisting of the body. So if you can imagine a wet towel, and you're wringing that wet towel, removing a whole lot of toxins out of it. So when we start twisting the body, basically what we're creating is that combination between breath and move in order to stimulate the lymphatic system. So those are 2, 3 just little examples of movement combined with the breath that can help you through the day. If you're in your home office, or if you're in your office, just step away every 45-50 minutes, get the body moving, get the muscles contracting, and combine that with the breath. So that's my little contribution for today.
Thank you ever so much, Stamena. We've got some good questions coming in as well. If you just want to stop sharing your screen, then everyone will be able to see us all in full screen. And Nick, feel free to join us again now if you want. Questions over for you there, Stamena. The first one was from Amit, and this was around the 3 magical things, the yoga, the nutrition, and the third one, like, exactly. How could meditation be used in place of the yoga, or where does meditation fit in that?
My personal advice from a point of, from my position as a yoga teacher and also nutritional advisor, would be try to combine the 2. Meditation is very, very, very important, but meditation doesn't always have to mean sitting still and doing nothing. You can experience meditation in action. And for people who struggle with anxiety, for example, for them to put them in seated meditation, you're actually aggravating that state. So it's not helpful. You can meditate depending on your needs. You can meditate while you're seated, but I would advise you to combine movement. So have practice where you're moving the body, you're activating the muscles. And then if seated meditation is your choice of meditation, have then combination with seated meditation and then practicing that. For people who are unable to sit and just be in a seated meditation, do your meditation during your practice. You can be doing yoga poses and you be in meditation. You can be painting and you're going to be in meditation. You can be cooking and you can be in meditation. So meditation can take many forms and many ways to basically bring you back into yourself. what is meditation is just the ability to concentrate the mind and to keep it still into one direction in whatever you're doing.
Fantastic, that's brilliant, thank you. Got another question here around, have you got any specific advice or recommendations for people that may be suffering with autoimmune disease, such as Crohn's disease, in relation with the elements that you've just spoken about?
Oh goodness, I had students like that. Yeah, I had students like that. So the big factor there is a lot of pain most of the time. Am I right?
The question's not for me, but knowing a few people, then pain is certainly a big part of that.
Yeah. Look, almost 90% of our illnesses, of what we experience, have a base in our lifestyle. So the starting point for you would be, again, trying to find a movement format that supports your system, that reduces inflammation. With that, you've got probably quite higher levels of inflammation in the body, and spikes of inflammation that happens triggered by different factors. So once again, combining a good meditative practice, a good movement practice, which in this case would be a more gentle form of practice, of yoga practice, with look at your diet. My very first starting point would be look at your diet, look at your nutrition, what's going inside your body, what's going in combination between the movement. Are you exercising enough? Do you have enough suitable for your condition forms of exercises to help you support the system, to help you support you through your experience of Crohn's disease, and also your diet? That is very important. I'm staying away from giving too much particular advice because this is not the right platform. You've got to be working with a qualified nutritionist or medical medical expert or qualified yoga teacher personally, so they know exactly what your state is and what the level of involvement needs to be. But my very first starting point in a general terms would be look at your diet first and have a good movement pattern, good movement practice that can support you through that experience.
That sounds brilliant advice, and certainly very important to reach out to the right people individually to get that advice. So a question now around, how do you know about whether you're including the right amounts of vitamins within your diet? Do you advise the use of multivitamin tablets to supplement your diet?
Very nice, very interesting, very, very nice. How do you know if you're getting the right nutrients?
Yeah.
You would know if you're connected with yourself, and your yoga practice helps you to connect with yourself. If you're connected with yourself, you will notice your energy levels. That's one of the first things. You will notice your sleep patterns. So if you struggle to sleep, usually when we start waking up around 3 o'clock at night on a regular basis, that's an indication we need to look at the liver. Something is happening there. If your energy levels are low, if you're not sleeping well, if your mood is inconsistent, that is an indication already that something is lacking in your diet. This is if you want to do the assessment yourself. From a professional point of view, how do I know? I would do a full analysis on you. That's how I would know what may be lacking in your diet. I would look at what your intake is, what you're consuming every day, and based on that, I will draw some kind of a conclusion that something needs to be amended, something needs to be improved here, or something needs to be removed there, or included, or whatever the case may be. But the very first stepping point is observe your levels of energy, observe your night's sleep, observe your stability, the stability of your mood. Supplements. Look, I am not a dietitian, a clinical dietitian, so I don't have the right to advise you and prescribe to take supplements. From my personal point of view, from my personal experience, I do take some supplements. I do take vitamin C, and I've been taking vitamin C in its clearest form, which is bioavailable to the body. The body can process and utilize. And I've been doing this for many, 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 many years. I do this not to protect myself from getting viruses. That's not going to happen. If you're taking vitamin C, that's not going to protect you from being sick. All it's going to do is to help you overcome that illness if it happens, and to get through the illness a little bit quicker and easier. Well, that's another very big subject. If you choose to take vitamins, just remember that the synthetic part of vitamins very often have a key that is not recognized by our bodies. And sometimes some supplements can basically be like an expensive urine coloring, quite honestly. But there's certain vitamins that are very much bioavailable that promote and help our immune system. The best form of vitamins and minerals and nutrients that you're going to receive are from your food. That's where you should be looking for your supplements.
Fantastic. Thank you ever so much for answering those questions. And for me, I think over both presentations, the main bit I'm taking away is that awareness, that connection to ourselves, how we're feeling, listening to our bodies, listening to how we're feeling, how our mood is, and then going back to those brilliant basics and actually kind of realizing, actually, am I fueling myself correctly? Am I moving? Am I kind of taking care, as to me personally, going back to your bit, Nick, am I looking after number one so I can then look after everyone around us? So thank you ever so much. First of all, Nick, can you remind everyone where they can find you, how they can connect with you?
Sure. So you can find all of my socials and stuff through nickelston.com, NICKELSTON.com.
Fantastic. And the same with you, Stamena?
You can find me at Wellme Yoga and Nutrition. So the website is wellmeyoganutri.com.
Fantastic. Thank you ever so much, both. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We lost a few people at the hour when we overran a little bit there, but lots of good people have attended. Videos will be made available shortly as well. Thank you for joining me today.
Amazing. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye-bye.